But the Indiana Fever went all out for Caitlin Clark's logo drop. So there was a lot of excitement already fluttering about Gamebridge, and energy was high. They definitely spared no expense in letting everybody know that Caitlin Clark does have a new logo out. The arena was actually covered with t-shirts that said Caitlin Clark was here. The outside of the arena had her logo everywhere. She even showed up with all these accoutrements with a CC logo in.
The WNBA has officially hit panic mode, and honestly, the league has no one to blame but itself. Their biggest attraction, Caitlin Clark, has been stuck on the sidelines for weeks with what started as a minor groin tweak, but somehow that small setback has dragged into a month-long absence. And without her on the court, the cracks in the league are being exposed for everyone to see.
The more these up-and-coming next-generation young guns enter the league, it is becoming more and more apparent that the WNBA veterans did not do much to really advance the game of the WNBA. They didn't really develop the game as much as they'd like to think. You have these rookies coming in and doing in one season and doing in less than a season and half a season what it's taken these vets of the past 600, 700, 800, 900 games to do.
As Caitlin Clark watches from the sidelines in street clothes, Nike just dropped a bombshell that's shaking the basketball world. Her brand new signature logo has been revealed, and early buzz shows it's on track to outsell and overshadow anything coming from the rest of the WNBA. It's a brutal reality check, one that only makes the rest of the league look even smaller under the massive shadow Clark continues to cast.
Listen, Caitlin Clark had a huge announcement today. The new Caitlin Clark logo is out. She took to Twitter and said, tune in, logo collection coming soon. Signature product dropping 2026. I think we getting them new CCs, them logo 3 CCs in 2026, y'all. It'll be no more Kobe PEs, which we've loved. We about to get them Caitlin Clark sneakers. Let's take a look.
Let's break down the numbers. When Nike officially unveiled Caitlin Clark as their newest signature athlete on August 25th, complete with that sleek interlocking C logo, arguably more polished than most of the league's own marketing, everything changed. Back in July, Clark's Kobe-inspired sneakers sold out within minutes, fueling a 3% spike in Nike stock and driving a 17% surge since their earnings beat. But this move, this isn't just another shoe drop. This is Nike putting $28 million over 8 years on the table, a statement that Clark's value might eclipse the entire WNBA itself.
If you are hoping to get your hands on the Caitlin Clark version of Nike's Kobe Bryant sneaker, you're out of luck. They are out of stock. The WNBA star teamed up with Nike for a player edition of the Kobe 5 Pro Tro, decked out in Indiana Fever colors. You see them on your screen. They dropped at 10 a.m. Monday, and they sold out before 11 a.m. In fact, in just minutes. The $190 kicks are already showing up on the secondary market at close to double the retail.
If you're enjoying this, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. Now, the real buzz isn't just about a new logo, it's about what that logo means. Caitlin Clark now joins Aja Wilson and Sabrina Ionescu as only the third WNBA star to land a signature Nike shoe deal. But here's the game changer. Clark is the very first female basketball player in Nike's history to have her own personal logo.
I've been telling y'all to stay patient. I've been telling y'all that Nike takes their time, that Aja Wilson's shoe deal was 2 years in the making, that Paige Beckers had PEs, not her own signature shoe, and that Caitlin Clark's was 100% coming. And people kept saying, oh, Nike fumbled the bag with Caitlin. It has to get out there. Nike fumbled the bag. No, they didn't. It takes time. She's got to develop a whole freaking product line. But they just announced, breaking news right now, we have a logo. That is the official Caitlin Clark Nike logo. And it's not just that. I mean, this is cool. Nike has just announced that a signature product line will be dropping soon, with signature shoes coming in 2026. Now, this is going to be her logo for all of her Nike stuff that is Caitlin Clark official stuff.
This isn't just about sneakers or merchandise. It's about a logo, a symbol that places Caitlin Clark in the same tier as legends like Michael Jordan, LeBron James, and Kobe Bryant. Meanwhile, most WNBA players are still struggling just to make their names stick with fans, and the timing? Absolutely brutal for the league. Since Clark went down with a groin injury on July 15th, missing 15 straight games, the WNBA hasn't just seen a ratings dip, It's been a total collapse, crumbling like a house of cards in the middle of a storm.
Clark has been a lightning rod for attention since entering the league. She brought in new fans, national media, and even primetime slots. Her absence isn't just hurting the Indiana Fever, it's apparently impacted the entire league's momentum. But this also sparks a deeper conversation. Is it fair for one rookie to carry the weight of an entire league's popularity? You see, critics say the WNBA's marketing is leaned heavily on Caitlin Clark, while longtime stars like A'ja Wilson and Breanna Stewart and others deserve more spotlight too. On the flip side, others argue Caitlin Clark is the draw, and the ratings prove it. Some even wonder,
Without Caitlin Clark, the All-Star Game took a massive hit. Viewership plummeted 36%, falling from 3.44 million down to just 2.19 million. What should have been showcase matchups turned into empty broadcasts that fans simply tuned out. Earlier in the year, a Fever versus Sky clash pulled in 2.7 million viewers. But the rematch, this time without Clark and Angel Reese, was such a ratings disaster that some networks didn't even bother releasing the numbers.
35%. WNBA ratings down. All-Star Game 35% than last year. Yet you're telling me that it doesn't have to do with Caitlin. 35%. It really makes it difficult for fans of the WNBA in general and Caitlin Clark, like myself, to have conversations, to join a Discord, just to I don't know, want to just talk up the WNBA in general when you can't even give Caitlin the props that she deserves.
Nike wasn't blind to what was happening. They saw the numbers in Clark's influence: $52.3 million brought to Iowa, another $36 million to Indianapolis, and an unbelievable 26% of the WNBA's total economic activity in 2024 tied directly to her. So Nike made their move fast, not waiting for the league to figure things out. This logo deal isn't just another contract. It's a bold statement that Caitlin Clark has risen beyond the WNBA itself.
Caitlin will never be paid what she's worth by the WNBA because it is quite literally impossible for them to pay her what she's worth. An economist at Indiana University Columbus calculated that Caitlin Clark was responsible for $36 million in economic impact to the city of Indianapolis, and that she is responsible for 27% of the entire WNBA's economic activity for this past season, including attendance, merchandise sales, and television. One player.
In her very first season in 2024, Caitlin Clark wasn't just a rookie. She became the economic engine of the WNBA. She was directly tied to nearly 27% of the league's entire business, from ticket sales to merchandise to broadcast value. According to sports finance analyst Ryan Brewer, 1 out of every 6 tickets sold league-wide could be traced back to fans showing up specifically for Clark. No player in WNBA history has ever driven attendance like this. The Indiana Fever's home crowd skyrocketed, averaging 17,036 fans per game, a number that didn't just set a league record but even outdrew the NBA's Indiana Pacers. Over the full season, the Fever welcomed more than 340,000 fans into their arena. Without Clark, those record-breaking WNBA attendance announcements would have sounded hollow. Yes, the league did hit 1.58 million total fans in 2023 and is projected to break 2.5 million in 2025. But let's be honest, the Caitlin Clark effect is what's fueling those milestones. That's why Nike didn't hesitate. Signing Clark to a long-term partnership and designing an entire product line around her wasn't just smart business, it was inevitable. Ann Miller, Nike's executive VP of Global Sports Marketing, called Clark an exceptional basketball player and an outstanding ambassador for the game. But corporate polish aside, the message was clear. Nike is building its women's basketball future around Caitlin Clark. And just like Jordan became the face of men's basketball, Nike is betting that giving Clark the same superstar treatment today will translate into billions tomorrow, cementing her as the global icon of women's hoops.
Means as much to their league, whatever league it is, as Caitlin Clark means to the WNBA. And no person has done more for their league than what Caitlin Clark has done for the WNBA. Patrick Mahomes does not mean that much to the NFL. Steph Curry does not mean that much to the NBA. LeBron James does not mean that much to the NBA. She is a monster. When we look back on this, Caitlin Clark will be for the WNBA what Magic Johnson and Larry Bird were for the NBA. If this thing ever becomes as big as some people think it can become, she will be the Magic Johnson, Larry Bird. You needed 2 of them to take the NBA to another level. You needed Magic and Larry. She doesn't need
As if the WNBA didn't already have enough problems with Caitlin Clark sidelined, the rest of the league has been hit with a historic injury crisis. What started as a wave of bad luck has turned into a full-blown disaster. Clark's absence is only the beginning. This season has seen 212 reported injuries, leading to nearly 860 missed games, with 2 weeks still left in the regular season. That includes 10 torn ACLs and multiple MCL injuries, shaking the foundation of the league. Just look at the Golden State Valkyries, 27 separate injuries on one team alone. This isn't just coincidence. It's a systemic failure that's wrecking the league's credibility and its ability to protect its biggest stars. Meanwhile, Caitlin Clark is operating in an entirely different stratosphere thanks to her Nike deal. Her Kobe-inspired fever-colored sneakers didn't just sell, they vanished from shelves in minutes. A shoe that retailed at $190 is already reselling for over $600. That's not normal demand, that's obsession, a cultural phenomenon. Nike isn't just betting on Clark, they're treating her like a generational icon, projecting her to bring in billions over the length of her contract. And while the WNBA keeps insisting it doesn't rely on a single player, the numbers tell the truth. Without Clark, viewership has plummeted, dropping from the 2 to 3 million range down to less than 500,000 in some games. When she's on the court, the league proudly blasts out the ratings. When she's not, the silence is deafening. That's not strategy, it's desperation. And here's the real sting for the rest of the league. While many players are still fighting for basic respect and fair pay, the same ones who wore "Pay Us What You Owe Us" shirts at All-Star Weekend, Clark has secured a Nike deal bigger than most players' entire career earnings. Nike isn't just paying her superstar money, they're paying her Michael Jordan money, the kind of money that comes with expectations of global dominance.
A 10 for 10, and a lot of people have been getting on Nike because they don't feel like they have been promoting Caitlin as much as they should. But I will say we have to give credit where credit is due. I feel like in the past month or so, they have been tweeting about Caitlin more, and then obviously with this shoe release, they made this super sick commercial to promote it. And of course, just today, Caitlin Clark's new Kobe PE shoe sold out in less than a minute. And I saw so many tweets about this, so many people who were so sad that they've missed out on this shoe. I saw that there was this one Dick's store and people were lined up around the corner, like camping out, trying to get the shoe.
Caitlin Clark's logo line officially launches October 1st with a navy and yellow t-shirt hitting shelves September 1st and her very first signature shoe set for 2026. But here's the part that really changes the game. Clark was involved every step of the way in designing her logo. The two interlocking C's represent her bond with fans across the globe, while a smaller hidden C reflects how her game has always been built from the inside out. This isn't just another drop of merchandise, it's a narrative, a brand identity, and a masterclass in marketing that leaves the rest of the WNBA looking out of their depth. The financial upside, almost unimaginable. Sports economist Ryan Brewer had already projected Clark's economic impact could soar to $1 billion this season, and that was before the Nike logo announcement. Now, there's no ceiling. When a single athlete can influence stock prices, sell out arenas, and pull in viewership higher than playoff broadcasts, you're not just witnessing a player, you're watching a cultural icon redefine the sport.
I'm here to tell you, they dropping some merch too. Now you can pre-order Caitlin Clark signature t-shirts, man. Nike wasted no time in getting the ball rolling for the Caitlin Clark brand. Now, I've been pretty vocal about this. I believe they're turning Caitlin Clark brand into a luxury athletic brand. Hence why the logo looked eerily, this is just my theory, to the Gucci logo. But I will say this though, it is a unisex logo. You can tell by how the logo is designed. You can tell by how the logo is made. It is definitely a unisex logo. And guys, I'm telling you,
the WNBA is now stuck watching its biggest star, their golden goose, recover from an injury that should have been prevented if the league knew how to protect its talent. This injury crisis isn't just about missed games. It's wrecking storylines, killing momentum, and making it nearly impossible to build lasting star power when your top names can't stay healthy. But the real battle is only starting. Soon, players will see Caitlin Clark walk back into arenas packed with 15,000 screaming fans, all rocking her logo, her merch, and chanting her name. They'll watch Nike roll out campaigns bigger than anything the WNBA has ever dreamed of, and they'll realize what it feels like when one player gets treated like a global icon, while the rest are treated like replaceable pieces.
The Caitlin Clark collaborations just keep coming, ladies and gentlemen. The God Caitlin Clark has now done a collaboration with Stanley, man. You know how huge this is? You know how many ladies love they Stanley Cup, man? And now you got the most electrifying woman in women's basketball collaborating with them, man. I can't wait to see what it is. Is it going to be Clark's logo on the Stanley Cup, man? What is it going to be? Good job, Stanley, picking up Caitlin Clark to do a collaboration with y'all, man, because this is going to be huge, man.
Nike's push behind Caitlin Clark isn't just about basketball. It's a bet on the future of women's sports. Their entire strategy for women's hoops is being built around one athlete, and that athlete is Clark. Yes, the WNBA is boasting record numbers, over 2.5 million fans so far, but everyone understands what's really driving those numbers. It's the Clark effect. The second she went down, ticket prices tanked, arenas downsized, and the so-called growth of the league started to crack. The Golden State Valkyries sold out all 16 home games, and Indiana led the league in attendance, but let's be real. Without Clark, the momentum collapses. Strip her impact away, and the WNBA looks a lot like the same league that's been fighting for relevance for decades. Clark will return, but the damage to the league's credibility is already done. They've shown they can't survive without her, they can't protect her, and they can't replace what she brings. Meanwhile, Nike is setting her up for global superstardom, with a signature logo designed to live on long after her playing days and merchandise destined to generate billions for decades to come.
You know, just trying to be that kind of soundboard for her and that voice, having gone through something kind of similar, and you know, knowing obviously it's really unfortunate that we don't have her, but you know, she means a lot more to the game than just showing up and playing, and I think you're able to see that with just the excitement in Indy right now, regardless of if she's playing or not.
Nike has already placed the crown on Caitlin Clark's head, declaring her the face of women's basketball. From her brand new logo to an entire clothing line, and even a signature shoe scheduled for 2026, Nike isn't just marketing an athlete, they're building an empire. Clark has transcended the role of WNBA star. She's become a brand all her own. When she finally returns to the hardwood, wearing her logo across her jersey and sneakers, it won't just be another comeback from injury. It will feel like a royal coronation. Nike's message couldn't be clearer. Caitlin Clark is the one destined to lead women's basketball into a new era. And the truth is, the fans already made that decision long before the league did. Millions tuned in for Clark, while much of the rest of the WNBA struggled to capture the same spotlight.
You man, the ladies is gonna love this, man. They already be walking around with they big ass Stanley Cups, never letting it go. And now you got a God Caitlin Clark Stanley Cup collaboration. Fire, man. But what else can you do when the most electrifying woman in women's basketball is just out there, man? And you know you gonna want to do a collaboration with her because it's gonna bring all the goddamn attention, man. Good job, Clark. Congratulations, man. Let the endorsements and the collaborations keep rolling, ladies and gentlemen.
The real fear isn't just empty seats or slipping ratings, it's irrelevance. Every player in the WNBA is about to be reminded of one harsh truth. In sports, there are stars, and then there are legends. Caitlin Clark's Nike logo isn't just about style, it's a statement that she's risen above the game itself. When she walks back onto the hardwood with her signature brand on her jersey and sneakers, it won't just mark her return from injury. It'll feel like a royal crowning moment. Nike has already declared who their queen is, and the league is only now realizing they never had any control over that decision. The panic is only beginning, and the WNBA has no one to blame but itself. They allowed Clark to be targeted, shrugged off the injuries, and acted as if they didn't need their biggest attraction. Now Nike has reminded the entire world exactly what's been missing, and what's at risk if the league doesn't wake up. Clark's logo isn't just merchandise, it's a warning shot, a message to the WNBA that the future of the sport belongs to her, whether they like it or not.